if I can film a video showing everyone how to put in a new battery into one of these. So I'm going to do that. I'm not very good at filming, so yeah, it is what it is. This is the game that we're going to be replacing the battery in. Here is said battery that needs to be removed. First thing I'm going to do is put flux on this side and this side to remove the old battery and the soldering afterwards. All right. So when I do this, I like to remove the battery before I even try to remove the soldering. I think that it works the best. So I like to take tweezers that look like this, and I put it underneath this flap right here and lift up as I'm doing it. So this is a new soldering iron to me. I'm not using the right tip. I need to get more tips, but I haven't been able to find them yet. So this is the one I'm using. It's wireless. It's cool. I like it. Okay. And you just heat it up a little bit and you're able to remove the battery. Make sure you have proper ventilation, a mask, and a fan when working with flux, because it is very chemically, it can kill you. All right, so that's how I remove the battery. Now I'm gonna clean it off, clean off my my tip a little bit here. If you don't have one of these, this thing is awesome. I actually really love it. It works really well to keep the tip clean, and yeah, I would recommend it. 10 out of 10. Alright, so I'm going to put some more flux on here, and then I'm going to be using the soldering wick to remove the soldering off of there. I already have pieces cut up because I like to do it this way. I like to cut it and I use my tweezers. I actually use my tweezers for literally everything when it comes to soldering. So you just kind of hold it on there like that with the flux and heat it up, and it should all transfer to the copper. Sometimes I get it stuck to the board, so I'm going to try not to do that today. Yep, there it goes. And it's stuck. So all you have to do when that happens is heat it up and lift. There we go. I do that very frequently. Way more than I'd like to admit. Alright. So now I'm going to go in on this side. I get a better grip here. And I'm going to remove the soldering again. There we go. See, it's all silver now. It's completely coated. So we need a new one. I'm going to apply a little bit more flux because I just want to make sure that it comes off and is clean. Alright. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty good over here. It just wants to get stuck over here today. Hold on. Technical difficulties. There we go. And then let me get the other side. Which side's the clean side? This side's the clean side. Alright, let me fix this up. And then apply it over here just to remove what's left. Doesn't look like that much. Alright, we're good. Not much left. So now I'm going to clean off my soldering iron again. And then I'm going to use a Q-tip with some alcohol on it to clean up the board here. I like to do this twice, so alcohol again, clean it up like so, remove all the flux that you just put all over the board and everything else. And then I like to take a clean cotton swab and just go over it to remove any excess residue so I can just get right to working as soon as I'm done with that. Yep. So there you go. That's what it's gonna look like when it's all cleaned up. And here are my replacement batteries. I'm just gonna, oh. I'm just gonna pop one out there. And then I'm going to be placing it on my, well, that didn't work out. I'm gonna be placing it, whatever, I'm just gonna throw it on. Placing it on my board here. And then, it's hard to see. I usually like lean in really close, but because the camera's here, I can't do that. So, I use the little circles in the middle to guide me. Let me see if I can show it. Little circles in the middle, I take my tweezers and I just like guide them to where they're supposed to be to get it on there correctly. So now I'm going to be applying some flux so that it will, see, it's just gonna move. So I'm just gonna apply the flux and recenter it again. Just some flux on there. Not too much, but not too little either. And then I'm going to guide this to where it's supposed to be. Make sure you put it on the correct way. Plus with plus, minus with minus. And then, it's hard to see, but it should be centered. I'm actually going to pick it up off the board so I can look at it. Let's see what we're working with here. Yeah, it's not where I want it to be, so I'm just going to move it over just a little off camera here because I like to be able to like get real in there so I can see. I'm not used to filming, so bear with me on this. Okay, so I use my tweezers. Of course I moved it again. This is really hard to do. I find that I move things way too much. It's too much caffeine, I think. I think that's the culprit. So I usually hold it like this and then do the soldering. Let's see how well it's pressed. It's actually pressed pretty good flush. Sometimes these aren't flush, like this part will be too bent up and then you have to hold it down while you're doing it. In that case, I would use like a bead, like so, and just pop it on there, put some flux on it, and do it that way if you have to hold it down. In this case, I don't think I have to hold it down, so I'm going to just go in with it. I'm just going to go in with it. And this is how I do it. It's probably not correct. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me. Feel free to do so. I'm always willing to learn new things. See, it did move, but not enough to where it matters. As long as you get a connection there, you're good. And then voila, one dab there. And then I'm gonna flip it around for myself, for my sanity purposes. And then I know you're not supposed to like put the flux on or put it on exactly this way, but I don't know, it's always been the way that I do it. And then there we go. It's on there nice and secure. Bring it up so you can see it. That's what it looks like. And I always do this test because this part, for some reason, sometimes it's not on properly. So this is nice and on there. So we're good to go. And then I like to give it a little cleanup here while I have it open. I clean the board, just remove any dust and debris, and I removed some of the excess soldering. Ooh, you guys can't see it. I removed some of the excess soldering off the edges to clean it up so it's not all, you know. I also do not like these Q-tips because they leave too much cotton behind. I need to get new ones. Alright, so we're ready to put it back together. Bada bing. If you don't know how to put one of these back on, do not shove it. Don't just be like, don't do that. Please don't do that. I hate when I get them and they're broken. So they have these little ridges here and here. And they have the ridges there and there. So you just have to line it up properly. Like so. Like that. And then you just push it up like that. And it gently comes together. If you have to force it, you're not doing it correctly. Be careful. I've got to clean up my station. I've got some flux all over the place. Alright. And then there we go. Just like that. And I'm going to give the outside a little clean, but it's already pretty clean. I am going to go and locate a Game Boy so that I can test this game. Be right back. Alright, I am back, and I've acquired a Game Boy. Fun fact, this is the same Game Boy that I had when I was a kid. Not the exact same one, but like this is the color. This is the entire one I had when I was a kid. Alright. Moment of truth. Success. Great success. Alright, I'm not going to play the game because I'm not good at Pokemon games. I actually never played Pokemon games. I had one of these when I was a kid, and I remember thinking it was really boring. So I never grew up playing Pokemon games. I did have Pokemon cards though. But yeah, so I think that that's test enough. It works. We're good. See y'all later.
You know it. The Lord.